You can't trick us, Wizards. You can't. Welcome to the temple for today's Arena stream review, April 25th, 2018. In the blue corner, fighting solo this week, the king of misinformation, a guy who lets Twitch chat dictate his entire wardrobe, and a guy who cannot be happier to lose a game of Magic. Best drafter in all of Magic the Gathering, Nate, the Hatchling Price. In the red corner, one of my favorite Arena streamers. He's got so much information and he's happy to share it. One of my favorite Chris's in all of MTG Arena. Back from a bout with an unknown sickness, Chris Main Phase Clay. Who will be victorious? Let's go. Oh, look at this little countdown timer they got. It's pretty nice. Okay, I already said that. Once. But yeah, that's what I told DMK to do. And I think that's the best plan, is to get your 4 wins so you get the rare ICR and try to get it without doing any of your quests, if that's possible. But that's what I would recommend, because the ICRs are going to be gone. You can still get a chance to get a rare. They're probably going to reset the day. So my recommendation is saving your quest, but get your rare ICR. And you have an hour and a half, I think, till servers go down.
Hey everybody! Welcome to our Wednesday stream. Things are going to be a little different today. This is
Chris.
Special. I am Nate Price. I am your community manager. Thanks to you guys for joining us every week for these streams. This one's a little early today.
The mic sounds good this time. I'm surprised.
We've got a really big update coming tomorrow, and we wanted an opportunity to talk about it before we let a bunch of people in our community show it to you. And to that end, I brought.
I'd keep 2 quests. Why keep 1?
Our game director, Chris Clay, is joining me today.
Yeah, you can reshuffle both.
Finally better, finally back.
Yes.
Almost back to fighting weight, not quite, but feeling much better. Really excited about this update.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're here. People in chat kept asking about you, especially like as we kept pushing back the AMA that we're going to be doing with you, which we've got scheduled.
Oh, I see. Did I bring my doctor's note? If you want my my picture from when I was getting my CT scan, I can bring that in. Yeah. That stuff is not fun to drink down.
So he got a CT scan, so whatever it is, that's pretty bad. So shout out to Chris. He does look decent. He could probably have a little more life in his eyes, but it's good to have him back, and glad he's getting back there.
All right. Anyway, welcome to the Wednesday before our big Dominaria update for MTG Arena. There's a whole slew of stuff that we're going to be adding into the game. Please make sure as soon as you're finished with this stream, we're only going to be here for about an hour, and we got like a hard out because starting at 1 o'clock right after the stream, 1 o'clock Pacific time, we got exactly 27 streamers who are going to be out there. We gave them early access to the client, set them up with cool accounts, really similar to the ones that we've got here, and hook their special accounts up with some gems and some.
This was all pretty sweet. I only got to watch some of CGB. I didn't really check out anyone else.
We're gonna have a lot of fun, but part of the reason you guys have worked so hard on building this is so that other people can enjoy this game. So we're going to give everybody an opportunity to do that. If you guys are participating in that early access event and are hanging out and chat with us, say hey, say what's up. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys. I see Amazonian in there so far. Whole bunch of cool kids. Looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with over the next 4 hours. I have talked a lot. I do that. But I would like to show people things. Would you also like to show people things?
I would indeed like to show some things.
All right. Well, this
Chris
is your
Craig
baby. So
can't
I'll let you
wait
drive.
for Nate to shut up. Just can't wait.
Let's jump on in. Ooh, look, Dominaria, Teferi lording over us all with his like.
All right, here's some garbage. Quick draft starting in 8 hours? None of us got to play in that, right? Or did they draft later in the day? I don't like this quick draft going off on a separate client. We don't get any action. Anyway, first point is you can see there's a 750 quest here. That's a lot more than 225. And Teferi art looks awesome. I guess we'll wait till they say anything before we really get into any discussion.
Look of concern slash. Well, that's just.
I don't know what Nate's talking about here, though.
Silent judgment.
Just drop it, Nate.
And I mean, starting off is the big one. So we do have quick draft over here. Draft is coming.
Yep.
Really excited about that. I know as a limited player, I have been long waiting for this day.
So it's funny. Like I've already seen some stuff that we might as well talk about. 750 gold quest PogChamp has come up a bunch. Yeah, we've revamped the free-to-play economy quite a bit, haven't we?
Yeah. So I know there's been a lot of speculation around it. We're really excited to finally talk about it. If you're interested in all the details at this very moment in time, I'm leaning over here and I'm going to post the state of the beta, which will have everything listed out in detail.
I think they should be across from each other on the bottom. It's weird the way that Nate looks to his right, even though Chris is below.
Posting the state of the beta that has all of the information about all of the economy stuff listed there. So please don't leave us. Stay with us.
I like how we post it on stream.
Know that it is there for you at forums.mtgarena.com in the general discussion category. You'll find this. It'll be hanging out there. Hopefully within a couple seconds, it'll be pinned to the top.
Right. So, and on the note, on the feels bad, we're at the screen because the way the quest system works, if you have quests already there, they're going to be there until you complete them. My advice for all the players is to go into the update with one quest that you can recycle, because when you recycle the quest,
I say two.
It will come back as one of the new quests that have a value between 500 and 750 for the rewards. Yeah. And that is part of the baseline economy. What we're trying to do is get more gold into players' hands. Part of that is, with the ICRs, that turned out to not work the way we had expected. They were meant as a sort of like, oh, you want to keep playing, here's some bonuses, and they were seen as a primary point of progression past the baseline. We've really worked on the heartbeat of the economy, so between your quest each day and the win bonuses, you're going to be able to earn at least 1,000 gold. So that opens us up to at least 10 packs a week between the daily quests, the win bonuses, and the weekly awards. And then beyond that, we don't actually expect people will be spending their gold necessarily at open packs, because we've got events in store for you. And we're really excited about getting events in, because events are what we expect people.
All right, let's stop here. This is so dense. So the quests are now either, he said between 500 and 750. Yo, Void Rager, what up? Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's either 500 or 750. Which I guess means always re-roll your 500 quest in hopes that it turns into a 750 quest. Sticking with quests, I think later on they mentioned that they cut the win 2 games with a 2-color deck. Yeah, you get three weekly reward packs, and then you get a pack a day, so that's 3 plus 7. That's 10. Or that's enough gold. You get 3 weekly reward packs, that's for sure, and then you get 7,000 gold, they're saying. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with the quest, increasing the cash. That was one thing when I filled out that we got a survey a long time ago about the latest economy. And I said more gold. I know people had asked for 2 packs a day. I was happy with 1. We'll see. we'll see how it goes. And then, yeah, he mentions removing ICRs. Well, they don't remove it. They still have ICRs as rewards for the events. But this is something Ninja talked about a long time ago. Like 2 economy updates ago, was he wanted to put the ICR rewards down to 15 games instead of 30 games. DMK, you get about 500 gold in rewards for wins. So if you do a 500 quest and you get 500 gold for wins, then you get 1,000 gold. But Ninja a long time ago said he wanted to pack all the ICRs into 15 because the 30 win grind is too much. I was of the feeling that if the 30 win grind is too much, just don't do it. You don't have to accomplish this goal. But clearly people like Ninja and other people take these goals very, very seriously. And it was making them not enjoy the game. Not at all Wizards' fault. That is a personal issue they have. I enjoyed this game plenty and did not get 30 wins every day. You could just cut yourself off, people. You can go get something to eat. You can walk around outside. I personally still think ICR should be infinite. But clearly people just cannot handle that idea. It just blows their freaking mind. Though infinite might force people to readjust how they think about something. But I'd be fine with common ICR rewards for every win. No chance to upgrade to uncommon. Like, that would probably feel better, because then people would be like, I'm just kind of making subtle vault progress. Yeah, I agree, sorry. I think they should do infinite with only common, no upgrade possibility. I mean, it is a pittance, but it's something. People said 5 gold to win. I don't quite know how everything translate. Yeah, but it's too much to put a 30-win game cap. Wizards didn't realize how people on the internet treat stuff or would react to something like a 30. They thought that would just be like so distant that people wouldn't even bother with the 30-win game rewards. But not only did they bother with it, they bothered with it so much that they didn't even like playing the game anymore, and they got mad at ICRs because of it. That just, I don't know. Whoever those people are, I'm not really pleased with the way they influence the game. So, save your quests. I would say save 2. ICRs going bye-bye except as rewards. I mean, now there's nothing, right? Now, after your 4th win of the day, there's just no more rewards. Maybe it was 10th win. I'm not sure how they did the gold, but at some point, either at 4 or 10 wins, you get no more rewards for playing at all. I think a common ICR is fine. Gold is better, but a common ICR is fine. Like, it still fills out your collection. It still contributes to vault progress. And it's still, hey, I got something. Now, granted, most commons are crap. But some aren't. Sometimes, especially if you like to play blue counter spells, normally there's a blue counter spell worth picking up. Or maybe there's going to be some Sapperling cards that are worth picking up. I don't know. Most people who already didn't like ICRs probably hate that idea, but whatever. I mean, I'm going to keep playing. I like the game. But, I don't know. It'll certainly be easier to stop at 4 games without any kind of rewards after.
To be playing once they get through their heartbeat, and that's going to be what you're going to use to basically accelerate your earn down the line.
It's also like
He's talking about events
to any a good, well-functioning economy like this is you have to have options for people who just want to get on and play, and like whether they're good casual players, like you want people to get rewards just simply for playing your game. But you also want the people who are like want their skill to really matter to have a venue and an outlet for that. And events are going to be, in addition to an opportunity for you to extend your play and your ability to earn rewards over the course of a day. There were players who like have skill in mind are going to be able to see some additional benefits from taking people to town.
Yep, and events are our playground. That's where we're going to be doing the most experimentation. We haven't set up a determined baseline for entry fees and awards out. That's really where we're going to play. We've got the quests that are in the state of the beta, and we have some surprises in store, and we'll see how it goes. And that will be a place where we're going to be doing more tweaking as we go through the beta.
Cool. Let's
Chill the F out, people. Chill out. These numbers are not set in stone. I bet you if I went to the forums right now, there would be hundreds of posts of people being like, oh, it's not going to work. This number, and this number is not going to work. It's horrible. You guys suck. There's also plenty of posts that say, yay, this is the price point I was looking for. Well, I don't think it's going to change one way or the other. So I don't think you should be too happy with it the way it is now. And you shouldn't be too sad about it. They're certainly going to change these numbers. And my advice is shut your mouth till you've tried it. It's a good way to fill up the queues, Shard. It's a good way to keep the queues healthy. But I guess we'll get into it. I have an hour and 15 minutes, Voy Rager. I should have put like a countdown, but I just really I haven't done timers. I have no intention of playing the standard constructed queues events at all. And I guess we're going to go into it now. Like if Red Deck Wins is that heavily played in just the ladder, can you imagine what these standard constructed queues are going to be? First of all, they have gems now. Another spoiler alert. We'll talk about that more later. But theoretically, you can just buy enough cards so that you can make your pure rare deck or whatever the best version of Red Deck Wins is. I have some ideas. But that's all that freaking thing is going to be for a long time. Till they ban the cards. It's going to be so much Red Deck Wins. So you either play Red Deck Wins and you have the best Red Deck Wins. Because if you're playing with the budget version, you're going to get run over by someone who spent the money to get the full version. And you're going to be playing mirror matches all the time, so you better have the best version. You either play the best version of Red Deck Wins or you have a deck that's, I would say you need at least like a 55% win rate on the draw against Red Deck Wins and something like a 65 plus win rate on the play against Red Deck Wins. That would be the only other deck I would entertain. But that thing is going to be a disaster. I have no intention of doing it. Now, will I do one for the stream or whatever? Sure. It'll probably just prove my point. Well, the grind is just 4 games. That's the grind. And once they have a casual queue, you know, you just play the 4 games, then you play casual with your buddy for the rest of the day if you don't like events. But I cannot think of anything more cancerous than this constructed standard event, which is going to be running 24/7. There's going to be nothing worse than playing in that thing. People will probably rope to God knows when, just because they don't want to lose. I'm not going to talk too much about these constructed events and their reward system. I'm going to talk about draft when we get to that. I agree. I think if there's enough events, it could be okay. Like if there's just one event for everyone that people like, it could be okay. But I mean, here's why I'm just not with you 100% Shard, is because that's what I wanted. I wanted to play draft. And I wanted to use draft as my preferred method to grind. And here I am. They have draft. And they're saying you should use these events to grind. Great. The only problem is these stupid drafts are not going to be running constantly. Instead, the cancer queue is going to be running constantly. All right, Shard. Yeah, we'll get to that, DMK. I thought you said you didn't watch it. You lied to me. All right, let's move on.
Let's talk about draft real fast, actually, because quick draft is it's called quick draft very specifically
What up, Frothy?
for a reason.
Correct.
I don't want to spoil or steal your thunder. Why are we calling it quick draft as opposed to some other term?
Well, eventually we will have pod drafting where you're playing or drafting with all humans in the pod. Right now with quick draft, it is meant to be an experience where any time of day you get into the draft, you're going to be drafting against bots. Obviously being bots, it's something that we need to spend a lot more time tuning. So we're going out with this first to give us the time to get that into the shape we want. It's not going to be a replacement for pod drafting, but we think it is going to be an experience that players are going to enjoy. Right now, I can tell you that the bots are a bit in the player favor because the bots are drafting to win. So they're going to do some things like pass, dual lands where a human might pick those up. We'll look at that. We'll continue to tune it. But there's also an experience that's going to be really important down the line. This is something that's easier for new players to get into because you can take all the time you want. You can exit the draft, come back in later. If you need to go look at tier lists on the web to try and make a decision, you can do that. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So I see you guys in chat, and now is when I get to be real with y'all. I am like the hardest core drafter. It is my preferred method of playing Magic. We are in our base.
You knew we were gonna get through the stream without Nate talking about his draft wizardry. Oh man. Whoa, he's the hardest core. No one else who plays this game online is as hardcore as Nate at drafting. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, Frothy. But I kind of like what Nate said, or what Chris said too, is, I mean, plenty of very reputable players publish articles about how to draft and what picks to make. And I love the asynchronous draft. I absolutely love it. And perhaps that's not the exact right word, but the fact that you're not on a timer when you're picking cards, that was the way Eternal was, and that was one of my favorite parts about their draft. I think it's really good for streams, because you can just sit around talking about what pick to make for 20 minutes if you want. And it's good for new players, because they can look up articles. And there's just no time pressure, and that's great. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get more details on that. I don't know if we'll ever know the true details of that, of how the bots work. But there's clearly going to be ways to exploit these bots. It could be the best place to just get cards. Like if the bots are just... I assume they're still picking like mythic rares. Like if they open a Teferi, they're going to pick Teferi. Because that card just wins. But, it sounds like maybe on pack 3 they're going to maybe not draft the rare, you know? Because it just won't be working with whatever deck that the bot thinks is going to win, so they're just going to let it go. So this could just be a super great way to farm cards. What? About 30 minutes. Yeah, 30. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. Sadly, like, because they're drawing from data, eventually the bots are going to figure out what the good cards are and they're going to start stealing them. But I think for a while here, and actually, right now the bots are going off Magic Online data, and they said they're going to transfer them over to Arena data. When they transfer them over to Arena data, I think they're also going to like get all jumbled up again, and so that will be also a good time to do the AI drafts. As far as reading signals goes, I'm not quite sure how the AI is going to affect that. Like, hopefully the signals are just going to be in your face. Like, they're going to all try to pick a deck and go for it. Now, I don't know how it works. Like, if two of them pick, let's say, red deck wins, though that's probably not what you want to draft. Like, are they going to do that? Or are they all going to somehow pick a different archetype? I'm not sure. But it could be hard to get, like, a bot off something. Like, if you're fighting over a bot for a Sapperling deck, you might not be able to get the bot off of it. So you could end up with a really bad draft because you and this bot are just going face to face on every Sapperling card, and you're just going to always, you know, you're going to get the second best Sapperling card a lot of time instead of the first best. But once again, this is all conjecture. But should be good. Should be interesting. And could be a great way to get cards.
Data right now. And so there are things that we have to test. Like we have, like, this is a drafting process. We are going to want to be able to, we're trying to build this game also to reach a very wide
pod
audience,
drafts are
but
cool
also
too.
make sure that our core audience is happy as well. And so coming up with a, you know, easy to enter, less scary, wider appeal version of draft.
Actually, I don't even really like pod drafts. I'd rather have leagues. Though there was mention a long time ago about a pod draft with your friends, and that would be awesome. What up, bees? Yeah. But generally, I don't like a pod draft because it just sucks you in for like 3 hours, and it's all timed, and you can't leave it. Hold on. I have to pick my friend up from the airport today, and he just sent me a message. And his plane is delayed. Hey, Battlecry, what up? Yeah. Like, pod draft would be my least favorite. I guess my most favorite would be League, and then perhaps this AI if it's just an unbelievable card swipe bonanza. And then pod would be my third most favorite style of draft.
Draft is something that's very core to us as we start to grow. Don't worry, we are absolutely working on putting together the, you know, normal 8-man podded draft against other human beings experience. You won't play in pods. It's really similar to like Magic Online's league draft model.
Oh, it is leagues.
But
okay.
We're working on that right now. We have not forgotten you guys. Do not worry. It's just getting this up and going ahead of time, especially because it's got some pieces that need to be tested a little bit more. Part of the beta process, right?
Right, and I saw some things going by. You're not going to be playing your matches against bots. You're playing against other humans in the.
It's important.
Yeah. So another thing that I want to make sure that we catch on. So we caught a whole bunch of people checking out the fact that we'd increased the amount of gold you get from quests. I did see one person commenting about the win with, black-green deck, for example. Those are gone, right?
Those are gone. We've removed them.
Oh, he got
from
the
pool
draft?
At the moment.
I'm jealous.
They really weren't doing what we wanted. The restrictions on the decks to accomplish them were too harsh. Back to the drawing board there. We're going to be working on some refactors of the quest system to improve it moving forward, but they will not be in the pool for this stage of beta.
Cool. Well, another good segue for us then. Again, we've increased the amount of gold that players are getting from quests.
They cut too many of those crazy quests early on, like to play 12 enchantments or play 12 artifacts. And now they're cutting the black-red. They just don't have that many quests. Like, I think that's kind of a problem. They really wanted this quest system to drive the economy, but look at the 2 quests he has. They're pretty much the same. Cast this color spell or cast this color spell. They have the play the lands, kill the creatures, but they need more quests. But I'm glad they're cutting the 2-win quest. Those were dumb.
And from the other, play methods, let's just head on into the store. Let us show
All
them
right.
what we've done to pack prices because they're the exact same. Don't. We've increased the amount of gold. We have not increased the amount of gold required per pack.
That's correct.
There you go. You can stop panicking about that. And you'll notice we've also fully fleshed out our store now so that it contains what the bundle prices are for what gems are going to be. We can show you, we're not going to dive into all this stuff on stream because we got way too much other stuff to worry about, but all of the information, including what the gem bundles cost as far as the real money transaction stuff that gets turned on in this update, and then what the pack bundles and all this stuff. All of this information is on the forums in the state of the beta, so we will leave you to check it out there, but that's where it is. And I can tell by the fact that all of you guys have started posting information that we haven't shown on the screen. Some of you have already gone, which is cool. But yeah, so.
Yeah, we are also not going to go into depth. As I said, there's too much conjecture in these numbers, and some of them are going to change. But there's the new store look. Looks pretty sweet. 1 pack, 1K. I think they like that number. That's never going to change. 18,000 gem grind. Yeah, so there's no there's no extra rewards for buying more packs. As you can see, the 15 at 3K, the 45 at 9K, that's just a direct scale, except you get 1 promo card or sometimes 2 promo cards or something. So I don't know about that. Seems to me like if you buy in bulk, you should be able to get a cheaper price than buying singleton. Anyway, you can get gems off event rewards. So yes. Good luck, bees.
Your packs still cost 1,000 gold.
Yeah, and as we go in, we're going to go open some packs now.
Yeah. Let's open some packs. Let's start off with that. I'm gonna rush to it because
There's a
what
little.
you'll see a little later on. We granted all.
Look at all those packs. If you notice, there was a little gold dot under the pack thing. I think that means you have packs. Yeah, people are saying about $1 a pack.
These packs because opening packs is fun, and more importantly, opening packs also charges your vault. And
this is a pretty sweet pack, by the way. Or sweet 10 packs. I guess there's 3 garbage rares in it. But 7 decent rares? That seems good. Anyway, in case you do open packs 10 at a time, this is how they're displaying them. It doesn't look like they're going to allow you to open 20 at a time or 5 at a time. It's either 10 at a time or 1 at a time. And it just shows you the rares. It doesn't show you the uncommons or commons. Now, they said something about showing you the wild cards. I don't think they show you uncommon wild cards if you open or common wild cards. They just show you the rares. But I'm not quite sure because they were a little unclear about that in my opinion. I think there's a deal for gems, right? Like the pack to gem ratio did not scale in the store, but I think the money to gem ratio does like give you more bonus gems if you spend more money, so that kind of skews the pack price down a bit. Only mythic and rare.
And we've made some changes to the vault. So we want all of our streamers later on and us right now to be able to show you guys what we've done for the vaults.
Yeah, and I'm going to go through these pretty quick.
This is...
Wow, this is a nice 10-pack.
That is a freaking great 10-pack. One bad card, Golden Guardian. Warkite Jade Light. Chris Clayluck, please. Holy moly. That is the best you could get from Rick's, in my opinion. Jeez Louise. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, Battlecry.
Hold on.
I'm going to go over
Yeah.
Whitelisted much?
No.
draft rewards and
No,
all
I'm just
that.
basically blowing all my luck when I get to
Also
live.
a good
This is
pack
pretty
here.
much ensuring it.
Just Bloodcrazed Paladin is garbage, but everything else is decent.
Alright.
But going to go through this pretty quick as we get to building.
Now this is a pretty garbage set of stuff. Chainmaw,
Alright.
Hollow One Hype.
Alright, you got a vault open.
Yeah,
You gonna open them all and then go through the
yeah,
vault?
I'm going to get a couple out of this, I'm pretty sure.
Like I said, you're driving. I'm not gonna side seat drive you.
You're trying to, Nate.
Yeah.
You're trying to side seat drive them.
Well, this is what happens when you open 10 packs in a row.
Yeah.
When you're opening 10 packs at the same time, it doesn't show you the commons or uncommons. It just shows you the rarest mythics and wild cards that you get.
Yep.
See, he says rare mythics and wild cards, but he means only rare and mythic wild cards. That's what confused me, but why would I listen to Nate?
And the big one, Dominaria. I'm going to take a little bit of time here.
Got a
Gotta
Sele.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So
Got a Woodland
there's a whole bunch of
Cemetery.
really cool stuff. You'll notice that he's already got a
Siege
at least
Gang
one,
Commander.
Grayed out card. We also made sure that because the whole point of this Dominaria early access.
Oh yeah, so 90 packs opens 3 def. We're still gonna get the weekly packs, Entropy. You still get 3 weekly packs, but not the bonus 3 weekly packs. You can notice they've changed the frames for these legendary cards. Now I remember a stream a long time ago where someone said there should be perhaps an alert that comes up when you're about to play a legendary card onto another legendary card to warn you that like one's gonna die. And I wasn't really in favor of that idea, even though, you know, I've played my Captain Lannery Storm into another Lannery Storm, and had there been an alert, I wouldn't have done it. But I don't think they should be giving you that information. You should know what a legendary card is and how it works. At the same time, I mean, you know, the new player experience is not there so that they would actually learn that anywhere. Like, if you're playing this game for your first time, you have no idea about the legendary rule. And there's not even a clear explanation when you do it. Like, if you play Lannery Storm and you play another one, one dies. If you had no idea about the legendary rule, you'd be like, what just happened? So the new player experience is still just terribly trash. But the beta is still closed. So, you know, I guess it's fine. But my point was that they added these frames around the cards for the legendary cards. These fancy little frames. And I think it kind of gets the point across of what someone else was, whatever person was saying it in chat a long time ago. Like, it alerts you to the fact that it's legendary, and it does it visually without having to give you a menu. And so it's like, here's a legendary card. It's cool, but be careful about it because it's legendary. Hey, Roush, what up? Yeah. You think the frames are stupid? See, I'm all for anything visual communicating information, and it does that. If they can avoid writing a sentence about it or having to explain it somewhere else and you can just communicate it through a visual representation, I like it. Artistically, I don't care. It's a fine frame. I don't know. Like, if you're just talking about, like, you don't like the realization of the frame and you'd rather see it less bumpy or something, that's fine. I don't care about that. But I think that adding information in the card like this that you can see visually, I think is a very good idea. And I keep thinking they should do more and more of that. Because it's Magic. I mean, it's digital, so you can do a lot of weirder things you can't do with a paper game.
This event is to show off Dominaria. We wanted to make sure that our streamers later on could build whatever decks they wanted to. So for the accounts that we gave them, the accounts that we're using for this right now, we stocked them up with a bunch of Dominaria cards so that people can build whatever they want to. I've already got one idea for a deck that I'm going to be building today, and it is...
I'll tell you what, that Oath of Teferi is totally debating. I'm going to open that in a pack and be like, Teferi! Because it's blue-white, it's got the legend thing, it's got Teferi. That's going to piss me off when I think I opened a Teferi and it's an Oath of Teferi.
Super awesome. So I don't want to spoil anything. I'm gonna wait until you guys get to watch
Lich's Mastery hype. If you guys watched CGB, you saw that game.
I'm still cracking packs because I was real dumb and opened one Rivals of Ixalan pack, and so I had to individually click through the other 9 before I could get back to open 10. So...
Yeah, I think Nate's going to go rats.
All right, V-Rager, check.
So I've got a bunch of vaults.
Don't
See you around.
spoiled
Peace.
it. You literally just ruined my secret. Why would you do this?
So the other thing we have updated again is the vault. The vault contains a myth.
I think Nate needs to stop keeping so many secrets. This happened last stream, too, when Trick said something. He's like, you ruined the joke. You didn't let me do it. Stop plotting so much, Nate. You know? Maybe if you weren't always plotting something, people wouldn't always be ruining something. Why don't you be a little more upfront?
Rare, 2 rares, and then 3 uncommons.
Oh, yeah. Also, here's the vault. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Though I will tell you, I think I only cracked, like, 1 vault in the last economy update. But I got, as my mythic, free mythic card, I got Combat Celebrant, which turns out is a sweet card in certain decks. So I really made out like a bandit in the old vault. It did force me to go towards GPG for better or worse, but I think I made out like a bandit on that, while other people might have just gotten a garbage mythic. But I'm sure other people got Scarab Gods or whatever, so... but this is what a vault should look like. And they might talk about it later, but with the new updates and the economy, they're thinking a vault is going to be every 3 weeks instead of every month, which is significant. A significant upgrade. That's like, what, a free vault every 3 months or something? I don't know, you can do the math. I mean, this is good. This is what I like to see from the vault. You really can get a deck going. You know, you could either finish a deck off or get a deck started with this kind of vault. It won't be good enough for the constructed standard stupid event, but if you like building decks, it's a good way to get going.
With the new cadence of the base economy, we expect if you're playing it out, you're going to be opening a vault at least every 3 weeks. And depending on how you do in events, that could be a lot faster.
All right. So Dominaria is making an appearance beyond just the cards. A lot of the skins that we've seen around, obviously the menu screens have got Teferi and Teferi Jorah and Karn. And so we've updated other areas of the game that we'll get to now. In fact, you're showing off one of the little minor updates that we've done. It's kind of a cool little visual thing. Adds a little flair to things.
Yeah, just a little. We added deck boxes. They're fun.
We like them. They're not game breaking. We recognize this.
Yeah,
so.
it's another little thing too, but
I'm not sure I like the deck boxes. It's like they're chomping at you. It's like they're little creatures, and they're like, rah, rah. Kind of freaks me out. You like them, Entropy? I don't know. It freaks me out how they open and close all the time. I would like them to, I guess, only open when you click them, instead of like partially opening and chomping at you. It's like you got these gremlins sitting around. But it's a cool way to, you know, and you can still put whatever cards you want on it. So it's like, in terms of displaying the art, I'm down for it. But the chomping thing, I'm not sure. I'll probably get used to it. It'll be fine.
We're getting through some of the, what I call the happy path. The happy path is it works. You can get through it. The last update, we obviously revamped the menu scenes quite a bit, and now we're fixing some of the things that weren't quite on the happy path, like you don't have to scene.
He's gonna say it right here, but right. So what they changed here is that when you're picking a deck to play in queue, it doesn't take you to the deck screen. It just brings up your decks in a separate screen, and this is awesome. Because it was stupid to go to the deck string and confusing because it just said decks, but you couldn't edit your deck. You were picking a deck. It didn't work. This is a much better way to implement it. You pick your deck right there, and you go into play. I like this update.
Transition to swap out your deck. You can do this right on the landing page.
Yeah, and this is, again, like, thank you for all of you who have continued to recognize and reinforce the fact that we are still in beta, because we are. Like, we're still building things. People who want new features and everything added in, we're listening and we're making changes. But there's a bunch of, like, this, getting this stuff in takes time, takes work, and there's a lot of little quality of life things that we're going to continue to refine in addition to those big, broad, sweeping things. You guys want drafts. You should be focusing on that instead of focusing on these small things. Why don't we just do it all? Like, just takes time. Roll it all out like that.
It does.
So, all right, let's build some decks real fast, and then we can fight against each other.
The wild
I
cards.
wanted to do knights, but
You do what makes you happy. My deck building is going to be very easy.
Hey, Malcolm, what up?
Yeah. And I want to have fun.
all right, we'll get some.
I gotta. This deck is going to be very important. I have to play.
It's hard to see now, but I'm going to talk about it now. So first thing they did is they changed that secondary view, which I end up using quite often because it's the easiest way for me to count lands. It's just to switch to the secondary view, and it tells you exactly how many lands you have. But they put that in the over by the settings button now, from what I can tell. I think when Chris Clay actually switches to it on stream, it's not on camera, so we don't see, but it looks like there's that window box. I don't know. I would assume that's the one that switches your view in the deck builder, but it's really not clear. Maybe we can catch it. Maybe the camera switches on time and I was just too fast. But a big thing they added is they put the color of the card in your deck builder. And I think that is also a sweet update. It is the window box? Okay. Yeah, I guess I should have just watched a streamer do it, but I didn't have time to. Right on. But I think that's a great update. Whether or not planes, I think planes should get the white. I think it's fine. But it just is, I think it's a very good way to represent the cards. So once again, I like this update as well.
Let's see. I'm gonna change things up ever so slightly. Let's see. This is very important for me.
Oh yeah, this makes sense.
Don't cheat. Don't look. No looking.
You told me what you're building.
No
so
ghosting.
I don't even have to look over.
Don't ghost. All right. All right. Here's what
I agree, Frothy. I like this view better than the other view, but for counting lands, that's when I use the other view. Basically, that's the only time, but I use it all the time.
In whatever we want to name this format, MtG Arena currently available, constructed.
And we have updated the cards, so the legendary cards do get the legendary frame.
Oh, nice.
Little details.
I appreciate this. All right. Good thing we gave us wild cards, because my Amonkhet packs did not provide me with what I needed. Oh, Don't look. Stop.
I'm not looking. I'm looking at the cards.
Spoiler alert, he's putting in Bantu's
Alright,
monument. That's what he wanted
We'll
from
just load up
Amonkhet.
my knights. My curve is not good.
All right. If you want to, Sean, you can show them the beautiful deck that I've created while he's still figuring his out. This is we're gonna make this.
I don't get to see the
very
deck name.
important. All right, I'm done. Deck.
Where the hell is Vanquisher's banner? Yeah, Entropy, I agree. They make the cards too big in that secondary view. If you could slide it up, I would enjoy that much more. But for now, I think it's a great way to count lands. Yo, Adrian! What up? Anyway, why is he not playing Vanquisher's banner? I actually liked Bantu's Monument. I hadn't thought about that. But I think I would go down to like 2 Bantu's Monument and 4 Vanquisher's banner. Things are good, man. The new update is coming in 45 minutes.
Deck building. This is an incredibly tough
I looked.
deck.
I looked.
to
Hey,
build.
thanks, Max.
I couldn't help it.
The best part about this is this also answers one of the questions that people had about how cards were going to work. So there you go.
Thank you, Max.
So best deck ever. For any of you guys in the early access event that are looking for some super spicy tech for later, here you go. This is
Ace.
tested and
What up?
approved. This is gonna be 24 lands is overkill. That's a very good point. We're gonna turn off disable land auto switches. Get out of here. We don't want you. Add more rats. In fact, just for the tilt factor. Bam.
He gave
There we
Trick
go.
so much
All right,
hassle
so
over
this
61
is-
cards last week, and now he's playing a
I'm in
61
the,
card deck?
The final couple cards.
Nate
All
has
right, we can
lost
just,
his
we
We
mind.
can go. I don't
Go
want to. I
through
don't
this
want to
quick.
burn people's eyes with the majesty of this deck right
Yeah.
now. So we can go back to.
I will just get some.
Word on the street is History of Benalia is just
All right.
pretty bonkers. And it's going in control decks, it's going in night decks.
I guess.
So-
Yeah.
That card seems to be hot right now.
Non-rat colony rats.
I've got my
that doesn't sound like any fun. Though.
my saga.
See, look at them all
Oh, my
chomping at me.
Are there any of the non-rat colony rats? I'm sure that there are. I just have to.
I'm not sure I like the Saga
I don't
art
know what
on the
you're
pack,
What?
because it's just
oh,
half
done. Sorry.
white.
Go on, rats off to you. I'm
Yeah, man.
sitting around admiring my handiwork.
Oh, by the way, I really like these splash
you know, one of
screens. These full art splash screens, they're awesome. They're freaking awesome.
Things that players don't necessarily see. We did a matchmaking update a couple of weeks ago. This is one of those big data things, but on the analytics, we've got almost all of our matches happening at a plus minus 2% win rate on the MMR matching. So that is working much better, and we're working in a future update to make sure that players understand the quality of the matches. We're going to be changing the ranking system, Sun, to make sure that that comes across.
That should be
Aw,
good.
Man. New avatars.
Check out these cards come in.
Although technically they're both bells and lock, right? That's how, if I understand how bells.
Do you
and
see how
lock
broken
work,
those cards were
is
coming in?
Bells and lock is love. Bells and lock is life. Everything is bells and lock.
Your opponent will always be bells and lock for now. Eventually, we'll get to the point where you're choosing your avatar, but it's not there yet. All right.
That is clear confirmation, which we've never had. We've always had Nate being like, oh, we like thinking about this, and we've discussed this, but he clearly says you're going to choose your avatar. So good. That's great. But you know what? I can wait a long time for that feature. There's a lot of other features I'd rather see before choosing my avatar is high on my list. Beard likes the new avatars.
All right.
I can make this one.
Oh, yeah, you were
So
talking
we're
about
all-
that, Entropy?
We're
Yeah.
gonna play enough games that you.
He
will
says
get
he's
to
gonna
see
go
the
fix it
Dominaria
immediately
board.
after
It's not
stream.
The only board that's in there. It's just added to the rotation, right?
Draft is coming, Ace. In a week.
Another thing that we've been seeing feedback on the forums on is around emotes, and that is something that's on our mind. We've got a little bit of a refactored the emote system going on right now, and we're looking at additional opportunities there. I know I've been in enough games where I wanted to do an emote that I couldn't quite get across and not be a jerk. So trying to walk that fine line between communication and toxicity. Fun stuff.
You guys know I got issues with emotes. Oh man, it is a fine line. It's well put. It's a fine line between communication and toxicity. And I guess as a sociological question, my question is giving people a limited vocabulary more conducive to toxicity or less conducive? Like if you just gave someone free chat and they could write whatever they want versus a very specific vocabulary, which enables people to be more toxic or which causes people to be more toxic? Friendly battles are a long way away, but they're coming.
And the rats are coming.
No, not yet. I have to take some time off.
Hellos I like.
My crocodile.
Unless it's a late in the game hello.
Saga.
Is it a first strike? Oh, just vigilance? Oh, wow. Wow.
Well, there's a lot of streamers.
That's the first time I've seen one of those. That is awesome.
So we've updated the summoning sickness as well.
Oh.
I think we're in a good place here.
Yeah, I kind of missed it, but that freaking Saga animation is hype.
In terms of readability and visuals, but we'll keep taking feedback. Rats, just
It's
more.
pretty sexy to me. But you know me, I'm an American animation lover.
I'm having so much fun right now.
Nate, good old Nate. Look at him go.
I'm glad you're so amused.
He's lost his
For anybody
mind.
who hasn't seen the post on the forums, as once you get to 4 rats, you can add as many rats as you want to the deck. Oh god.
There's
the
AI
rats.
drafters, Max,
Uh,
but no AI opponents.
Oh my, I'm actually crying.
all right.
Nate's going off. Yeah, but
That's all rats and more.
history
more
of
rats.
Benalia.
There's no end to the rats.
There is, if you had Vanquisher's
I got
banner,
that
there'd be
for
no
my
end.
turn.
You do. The best part is like I just no follow up. Like it's. My
That's 'cause you
follow-up
don't
is
have
hopefully
Vanquisher's
Bonsu's
banner
Mountain
in.
that kills you at some point. So.
Yeah.
Putting ways to refill my hand would have been. Oh man, you know what I need? I need the Helm of the Host. That's what I need.
That's a good card, Entropy. That's interesting.
First strike. Ugh.
But I think splashing for blue in this kind of deck is crazy.
That's gross.
He's got everything right in this deck. He just needs 4 Vanquisher's
Yep.
banner.
How does she have so many abilities?
All the things. Yeah, not quite.
I'm not having fun anymore. Oh my. Oh
Let's get
my.
this.
Yeah, first strike is cheating.
Yeah.
Like, why are you being so
9/9.
mean to rats?
First strike,
Right.
vigilant,
Rats
lifelinker.
become
This
mean
game
to
is
humanity
over,
throughout,
folks.
And, we're just getting our revenge
Over.
Here.
These are digital rats. Digital rats haven't done anything to anyone. They're
Tap
they're
out.
pretend rats.
That is a lie. I can confirm that there are people on the dev team who have had to suffer through the bugs from digital rats.
That's
So,
that's fair.
do I want to make that
It's got first strike.
trade?
What trade? You have first strike.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, crap.
Oh man, we're making this one.
Yeah.
Block. This is when you blow
Ew,
me up because you have
Jester.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What up?
I'm still dead. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do. Oh man, another Bantu's monument.
I think Chris Clay's making this card look good, even though I'm not sure it's actually good.
All right.
Totally misplayed through that, but that's
It's
okay.
legendary. No. I guess that would make sense. All right.
Nate's just going in.
auto tapping, we don't have any major updates to auto tapping coming out with this. Next deck I put together, I will put together a multicolor deck. I can walk you through a little bit of how I use the auto tap system. Players have pretty clearly identified the biggest problems with it. And when you have a card in hand that you want to reserve, the system isn't looking at your whole hand. It's
Rip
doing
Nate.
the best guess. And that's the place where it falls down the most. We've got some ideas around how to handle that.
Good game.
Yeah, good game.
So it looked to me like they switched the claim screen there. The claim screen used to be on top of this landing page, but now it looks like they don't have the landing page in the background anymore. They just make it a plain black background, which I like. I didn't like having the landing page kind of sitting around there. It seemed too cluttered to me. Yeah, I like the Saga animation. There was one more thing I wanted to show. Oh, they changed the summoning sickness. So instead of like, I used to like kind of go upwards, have a little like black wave go upwards. Now it's a circle kind of pulsing out. I think that's a little clearer. I like that update as well. Well, Nate didn't build the deck right, so he only has himself to blame. He only had 4 cards to include, and he couldn't get one of them.
Fun.
I had a lot of fun for like 5 seconds, and then I stopped having fun.
You did. He cried.
Okay, I'm gonna build a new deck real fast. What kind of cool Dominaria stuff do I?
Let's get all the way to the end.
Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. I want to build.
There was a guy in here I saw. I think I'm gonna try and make work.
Now, Chris Clay gets a little touchy here.
Now that we're putting more sets in, are we gonna add a spot to the filters where we can filter by set? Down the road?
That's on my short list for sure.
Awesome. That is good.
I think this is an important distinction when Chris Clay talks, is what he considers short list. And if you're on the short list, that's pretty good. If you're not on the short list, then you're really far away. But if you're on the short list, you're in a pretty good spot if that's a feature you're interested in. And the feature he's talking about is sorting by sets in the deck sorter or the deck builder, which is great. Fair enough.
Did I misspell it? Oh, man.
I get to ask questions that I don't know the answer to either, which is fun. All right, what should I build the deck on? Slimefoot? Or
Yeah, that's
build
what
the
I'm
Slimefoot
doing.
deck? All right, what should I do?
See,
Wizard's
Chris
deck
gets
or-
pissed right there.
Deck, sure.
He doesn't want it.
Deck Builder has had a minor update. The tiles now match with the card title bars. Just makes it a lot easier to parse what you've got in your deck.
It certainly
Got
does.
a lot of little touches like that throughout the client.
Good job.
Yeah, still seeing the collection by set. ICRs are still in the mix, but they're as part of the event rewards, and we're starting them at uncommon. So
That's pretty
uncommon,
bonkers.
And we're having multiple. So when you're opening up ICRs through an event, you're going to have a much better chance of having a good ICR experience and less of the grind ICR experience.
I think only the green one and the white one are really worth playing.
One of the other things that is on the list is the manual tapping of lands, because you do have to play a chase game. One of the things that we want to look at is just having the stack be a stack. If they're tapped, they go to the back of the stack, so that it makes that experience much faster.
He calls it a chase game. I call it annoying as effing hell. I play Approach, man. You got to tap 7 mana. And when those lands are moving all over the place, and sometimes I can't even click on a land because like I go to click on the land and then it moves. And then I go to click and it moves back. And it moves back. That is freaking annoying, man. It is not a game. It is torture. If you think torture is a game, then it's a chase game. But I call it chase torture. The idea of putting the tap lands behind the other lands seems fine. Anything to fix it, because that is annoying as hell.
And easier. Green, black, sure. All right, I got to focus on deck building because I can't multitask in my brain like this.
We were talking about
But,
that. It doesn't get a trigger. It doesn't trigger unless you use Mirage Mirror on upkeep. Or before draw step. Which is fine.
Silence.
But you can't just do it like main phase.
Those, cut a couple of those.
And let's add a couple of
By the way, Nate is putting in, he has any wild card he wants, basically, and he's putting in Academy Journey Mage.
I saw a question fly by. Can you get wild cards while drafting?
Oh, look what Nate's about to do. Bees, are you here?
Would certainly skew the wild, the drafting experience.
Yeah, oh, get those
The draft
Charter
packs
courses.
are,
Good old
full
Nate
packs. The land
still
cards that we
loves
removed,
Charter
they are
course.
full
All 4. Get it in there. Classic Nate.
Sweet, sweet value.
I have a better idea than I had before.
packs. One of the big guys. Sure. And just because he's so good,
Bees.
man, I'm just misspelling everything today.
That's okay.
Why am I? Do I not have one? Oh, that's weird.
Let's make one.
Gotta give props.
This is tough. This is tough. I know kind of what I want to do, but there's
Repeating Barrage is
I'm spending a lot.
terrible. Do not play this card in your Wizards
Spending
deck.
a lot of
Certainly
wild
don't
cards.
spend rare wild cards on Repeating Barrage.
I think that's
There's
okay.
another
think it's
tip
fun.
I can give you guys
It's
today.
worth it for this.
Don't spend your rare wild cards on Repeating Barrage.
MOL deck view. We're talking about the.
Nate never knows
layout
what he wants.
theme.
It's,
So yes,
he's in
this is what
Christmas
you're-
land. Christmas land is tough, to be fair.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to know what to do when you just can do anything you want. And this game, you're going to
We are
see
not
why I call
currently
him.
Looking at having foil cards in. It's something that has certainly been talked about extensively, internally, externally, but it's not on our short list at the moment, mostly due to what
Not on the short list.
it really adds to the game.
All right.
Burn to people who think foils add anything to the game. But the truth is, if you do foils, you have to have a foil version of every card. And if you do it awesomely, like with those animated foils, like that one guy made or whatever, which they should do for foils, they should make it frickin' awesome looking and like have fire shooting everywhere or whatever. That's every single card that needs like a full art rework. So yeah, that can wait too. Not on the short list. I'm happy with that. It's short, Beast. Short.
And it's a lot of things to foil correctly. Yeah, we'll show Doomfall in
All
there.
right, I'm ready.
Where am I? I'm at 60. Let me just fix my mana base really quick.
By the way, did you catch that? He says mana base. Maybe that's the correct way to pronounce it, is mana, but I'm never going to say that. I'm always going to say mana.
It's funny because conversations about things like like how we might do
Nice, DMK.
cosmetic variations on things. There's some really interesting conversations to be had because, again, like if we're looking for a wide audience, like the ability to understand
This is a
what's
good
going
point.
on at a glance is important. And when cards look different, one of the like issues that I could see with doing alternate versions of art or things like that lead to an understanding for newer players being able to identify that two things that have different appearances are in fact the same thing.
He's buying foul orchards
But
instead
there's
of
a
the
bunch
frickin'
really interesting ways to
whatever one.
come up with cool ways to do things.
Woodland
like,
Cemetery?
make special.
He's got no woodland cemeteries and he's putting in 4 foul orchards. Chris, what are you doing?
Of their game experience and game appearance.
what are you doing?
We do a
That's
lot of
the
listening.
wrong dual land.
I send messages to Chris every so often when I catch him, like, oh man, this person had a really cool suggestion, like via Twitter or someplace that I've got, just like send him a DM like with a link to the suggestion. So things definitely get through the pipeline. And those of you guys who've been interacting on the forum, Nick Wolfram, who was on stream with me a few weeks ago, like is doing a really good job making sure that we're trying to pull this information in.
Look at this
and,
awesome card art. I
try and
love these
pass it
splashes.
off to people.
These
So-
splash
And,
pages.
stock questions
Someone
are by
asked about
key
draft,
for
so I put
draft
that link up
packs.
there.
The
If
store
you're
packs
duels
are
only.
very different from the draft packs. The way to enter is with gems or gold.
Cool.
This is not cool. You should be able to enter the draft with packs. And Chris Clay's explanation is that draft packs and normal arena boosters are different. Well, guess what? It's frickin' digital. Just make whatever conversion system you need to make. You just make things up. That's what we're doing. We're making things up. And you should most certainly be able to enter with packs. And I think you should be able to enter with any packs. Like, let's say I want nothing from Rick's packs, but I'm getting weekly rewards from Rick's packs. I should be able to enter a Dominaria draft using the Rick's packs. It's like a way to trade in what you don't want for something better. The fact that like you can't do it because the packs don't have the same amount of cards is silly. And that should definitely be an alternate way to enter these events.
So all drafts are keeper drafts. You are keeping the cards that you select. So don't discount the fact that you are getting 42 individual cards that you have also gotten at least the agency to select for your collection as a part of the draft experience. So these drafts are not phantom drafts.
That is correct. You get to keep what you find.
What happens to gems after wipe? I will answer that question right now. That's a very good question. Basically, the way that it's going to work is there are two types of gems. There are the gems that you purchase with your like with money, and then there are
This is
the
important
gems that you earn
if you're
as a
buying
result
gems.
of
Pay
your
attention.
performance in events. What we're going to do is anything that you purchase with money, as far as gems go, you're going to get those same gems back after the wipe. Anything that you would have earned as far as gems, or anything that you have, purchased with, the gems that you got through earned, those will not be refunded. So it's all anything that you have spent money on, you will get refunded the gems for that. Just not from the gems that you got.
Yo, Kobucks.
And draft packs do contribute to vault progress.
Draft packs contribute
And
to vault
any
progress.
Cards in the draft that would vault at the end.
I had to mulligan. My hand is not great.
So you get your gems back, what you pay for. If you earn gems from events, you don't get those back.
Goodness, this is even
So you
worse.
should spend them, I guess.
Play? I am on the play.
Because I guess they're going to get wiped. I don't know.
Keep it.
Well, yeah, I guess everything's going to get wiped, so it doesn't matter.
This is going to be real bad.
So in terms of grinding, again, to focus on the way we're trying to set things up is the base grind is going to be the wins and the quests, and then after that, if you're looking to grind more, we expect you to be going to events to do that. One of the events, Quick Constructed, with your gold earn each day, you can basically enter that
What up,
twice.
Wolf Bard?
You're going to have to save
22
up,
minutes.
for a draft over the course of, I think, 5 days to get into a draft with gold.
Just so you know, like what is it, May 4th is when the first quick draft event is, something like that. Like it's not going to be immediately upon the release of the event.
Get your 4 wins in as fast as you can, but don't
we
you
wanna make
do
sure
a
that people
quest.
have an opportunity to save up and earn the gold, like under the new free-to-play economy. Make sure that you have access to the gold that you need to be able to play in those events when the first draft fires. The first draft will also be, it will be Amonkhet block, is that right? Or something like that. I think that's what it is. We're actually
Amonkhet Hour.
Amonkhet Hour, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have we actually have an event schedule that is supposed to be going up.
Charter
sometime.
course hype.
Yeah, the event schedule actually went out with the state of the beta, which
Beautiful.
is live, so you can definitely look there for that information. Saw another thing coming through. When is best of 3 coming?
Sorry, Wolf.
That is obviously a really
You
important
missed out on
feature.
300
yeah.
coins. It's all going to be wiped
shortly.
one day anyway, though. So
it is on the short list.
No, I believe that the second quick draft event, the one the following weekend, is Dominaria. Not 100% positive. Double check that event schedule.
okay, hold on. Let's watch this again.
So eventually we will have
100% positive. Double check that event schedule. This second quick draft event, the one the following week.
feature to us.
This is why we
Shortly.
This is why we call him
It is on the short list.
Chris Main Phase Clay.
No,
This
I
is an
believe that
instant speed.
This second
Spore
quick
Swarm,
draft event,
instant
the one the
speed.
following
He
weekend
plays at
is,
first main phase.
Not 100% positive.
You
Double
should
check that
definitely be
event
playing
schedule,
that on your
just-
opponent's end step.
So,
But he's going to do
eventually
this
we
for
will
like the
have
rest
a
of the time.
casual queue. We're not there yet. Mostly just making sure we don't split the player base in closed beta too much, but there will definitely be a casual queue for people to play in.
Casual queue confirmed. He didn't say whether it's on the short list or off the short list. These journey mages are terrible. I mean, maybe not. Now that he's got wizards out.
So, saw the no grinding. I guess that really comes down to how well we do with the events, and that the events are where we expect players to grind.
I don't want to be
Can't
in
go
the
infinite in
constructed
them.
standard event. Ugh, disgusting.
Some of that, of course, comes down to player skill, and when you're in an event, the matchmaking is going to be win-based. So you're going to be matched with people with similar wins. It is modified by your limited MMR, but
He is playing Nate.
we will see.
Kuno to the idea of getting a Twitch add-on so viewers can mouse over cards and view that.
So yeah, so as it should be, you get matched against the same person with the same amount of wins or losses. Now, in the state of the beta, it does say like if you're waiting for an insane amount of time, you might get a stretch match. They said that the limited rating will smallly affect who you match up against with. I think that's fine, though. It probably shouldn't do anything at all.
That is an idea that I've had for a while. I really like the iterations that I've seen out there.
He's talking about third-party apps.
It is a question of, I mean, it is definitely something that I am interested in pursuing, but it's not something that is in the immediate future, I'll say.
That spore picture is pretty colorful. Guess this is the first time seeing a spore token.
All right.
So, is Shock in the welcome decks? The 2017 welcome decks?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or is that Kaladesh Ether Revolt? Sorry,
yeah.
saw a question about Shock. Kaladesh and Ether Revolt are coming down the line as well. We're not too far away from them either.
Not too far away.
Language of support. That is something that, if they're not watching the stream, the team downstairs is working on right now.
And if they are watching the stream.
Language support hype.
Yeah, we've had some some fun bugs in the last couple releases just around the work to get language support going for all of the people not on English.
No, he didn't say shortlist. He says it's coming down the line. What up, CGB?
Does rank affect draft opponents?
Yes, bees.
It
Twice
does
as
not.
long.
There is an MMR behind the scenes that has a very minor impact, but everyone's starting on an equal playing field, and over time, that doesn't shift things much. It's more within that pool, matching people within that win-loss bucket with people of similar skill.
Let's see. To answer a couple questions, once we are in sync with what the current, once we have standard in, we are going to be adhering to the standard.
He kicked it.
Restricted list, correct. Additionally, as far as
that's too long.
Another question.
That's too freaking long, man. Ramanap Runes needs to go now.
That is something that we are in the process of exploring right now. We will have an answer for you closer to when the rotation comes. Which is another one of those things I know you guys love it when we tell you that stuff. All right.
It's just the timeout timer that's twice as long, not the overall timer.
Events have packs as rewards, so getting into events not all of them. I believe Quick Constructed does not, but drafts have packs as rewards. Secret things in the future as well.
Secrets
right now,
in the future.
The things that we have to work with, and in the future we may have more things. So, who knows? Who knows what the future holds? We have an idea. Open API for app creators. We've been having a lot of conversations about third-party apps and the people who are coming up with some really, really cool ancillary things. And I don't think we have a full decision on everything just yet. It's something that we know there's a lot of people doing a lot of work out there and have come up with some very, very cool, interesting little add-ons, and we're aware of them. We'll be keeping an eye on them. We'll see in the future.
They are aware.
Yeah, so when it comes down to external apps, generally, as long as the app isn't trying to communicate with the servers, we're generally okay with it. It's the line we're starting with.
All right, so there you go, app developers. Don't try to steal data from the server, or you're going to get WotC mad at you. I'm not one of those guys. Guess we're talking to Shard here.
This game got hard. Let's see. I caught a couple of questions earlier about does cracking booster draft packs, cracking draft packs count towards your vault? And I believe the answer is...
the answer was yes.
Oh, it is yes? Awesome. Cool.
We already talked about that,
Learned
Nate.
something new.
Well, maybe you should have listened to Chris the first time, Nate. Instead of laughing about your rats or whatever was going on then.
Yeah, so I think we've talked with people on the forums about Brawl, in that Brawl came up on us quick. This goes into another question on Two-Headed Giant. We are not currently set up to move towards two-headed giant. That's not in our roadmap at all. That's a much more complicated problem.
Two-headed giant is off the roadmap. Two-headed giant lovers.
You know, our rules engine isn't really set up for it, and that's part of the challenge around Brawl. It's getting into the command zone and then linking it through to all of the other systems that we're currently supporting.
Ooh, I don't know.
I have been looking at getting in a singleton event.
I have to wait and find out.
It goes. That's a much easier
Definitely not red.
task, and I'm hoping we can get that in the not too distant future.
Yeah, it was one of the.
So that's cool. Like, you know, they said Brawl took them by surprise, but unlike Two-Headed Giant, which they just say is just not coming at all, they're clearly thinking about Brawl depending on, you know, depending on how things go. But I like that they're going to do like a, you know, test out some of these formats event style. So a singleton event, they say, is coming up. So that's cool. I think that's a good way to test these formats, also to test like how popular they're going to be. Make them events, see how many people come to the events, let people try it out. Should be good. Like, I'm really busy this weekend. That's why we're trying to slam this stream review pretty fast. But as far as deck building goes, I'm pretty much going to sit back. Like, I've been watching a lot of Standard on MTGO. I'm doing my research, but I'm not going to really have an opinion till probably Monday of next week. I know. How did Brawl? I think what took him by surprise is how many people were psyched for it. I think they thought not that many people would be psyched for it, but a lot of people are, it seems.
The biggest things about Brawl is Brawl's kind of cool for the way that collections tend to grow in Arena and that they grow wide. Like wild cards give the ability to focus in a spot, but a lot of times people build up wide collections. So having those access to a singleton event like that would be a cool way for people to be able to use what they got. Please don't.
Maybe. I don't have that much free time, so
Yeah, I mean, I am real close. Like
I try to watch stuff. Like, I'm not going to be playing Brawl anytime soon, or Commander, because that's just not, it's not on my short list.
If you go, one of the questions is if you can't enter draft for packs, how are you supposed to go infinite? When you pay into a quick draft with gold, the reward out of it is in gems, so you can earn enough gems to go right back in and play again.
All right. Here we go. I didn't want to talk about too much about the economy at all today, but I certainly want to talk about this. The going infinite in draft thingamajig. And we're going to look at it, and I'm going to discuss it. Here's the time that if you want to discuss this thing, I'm going to do it. Okay. Well, there's two kinds of going infinite, I believe. Going infinite, in the true sense, is that you can play as many drafts as you want, as long as you want. Another way to kind of go infinite is to, use the rewards you're given, and that gives you enough to play drafts. Maybe there isn't a distinction. You're infinite or not. But okay, let us talk about the worst case scenario. You pay $5K to get in a draft. You get 0 wins. Drafts are either $5K or 750 gems. You get 0 wins. You get rewarded 1 booster. And you get 50 gems. So for $5K, you're getting 3 packs, 2 of which have an extra uncommon and a bunch of extra commons. And you get 50 gems, which means every 15 drafts you do, you get 1 free draft. That's the worst case scenario. So for $5K, you get 50 gems, 3 packs. That's it. That is not great. But at the moment, well, your card. That's what I'm saying by 3 packs. You get the. You get the. I guess you get 4 packs. 4 packs. So you get the 3 packs you draft, which is 3 extra uncommon wild cards you get over an arena booster, and at least 1 pack. So you're down a rare basically, or mythic, but you're up 3 uncommons. The biggest issue, of course, is that the Dominaria booster packs give you wild cards, a chance at wild cards, and the draft packs will not. It's not a terrible worst case scenario. It's not that terrible. Now let's look at another 0-win scenario. You get 2 boosters instead of 1. You pretty much broken even. You're getting 5 packs for $5K, and you're getting 50 gems. So I was talking about this on the Discord, which you guys should all join whenever you get the chance. But you're pretty much breaking even at 0 wins. That seems okay. And you're getting 50 gems, so you're also getting the free draft every 15 drafts. Like, even at this price point, this is the way I plan to get most of my packs and open most of my cards. Yeah, and CGB, we're talking about the rare draft. Someone mentioned before that you had a pretty good time finding rares when you were drafting. I didn't get to see that portion of your stream. But yeah, if these AIs are stupid and you can rare draft your face off, like, it's not as good as getting a wild card, but it's almost as good as a wild card. Like, let's say you're playing red deck wins and you really want a Hazaret, but you open Teferian draft. That's still pretty damn good. You're still going to be happy with that. So, and that's the 0-win scenario. Now, as CGB noted, you need to win 5 or 6 wins to truly go infinite. You need to average 750 gems to truly be infinite in a way. And that means you need to basically have 50% of the time you need 6 wins, and 50% of the time you need 5 wins. And that's going to be rough. 2 5. Limited is tough, man. Limited is freaking tough. What up, Nola Gold, by the way? Yeah. What is happening? So to be truly infinite, it's going to be tough. But let's look at 1 win now. That's 100 gems. That means for every 7.5 drafts, you're getting a free draft and everything we said about packs and boosters before. Keep in mind, like, the best case scenario for 0 wins, you get 3 boosters. So for 5K, you get 6 packs. That's cheaper than just buying the packs. We don't know what the percentage is on these 1 to 3 years, and I really don't like the idea that it's just kind of random. I think you really have to go in the mindset that you're going to get 1, and sometimes you'll get lucky and get 2 or 3. But we'll see. Maybe 50% is 2 packs, 25% for 3 and 1. We don't know. We don't know the numbers. The first draft is going to be Amonkhet block, and I have no idea how to draft that. Like, that's super scary to me. Like, Dominaria, at least it was like everybody was going to be on the same foot because people don't know how Dominaria is. But there's going to be people on Arena who have done MTGO hour drafts, and they know the archetypes, and they know what's good, and I don't. So I'm going to get slammed that week, I feel like. Anyway, like, if you get 3 wins, that's 300 gems. That's a free draft, like, every 3 drafts, and still a chance to basically earn your money back. I think 3 wins should be doable. Like, draft is finicky, you know. Sometimes you could draft the best deck you've drafted all month and go 0-3. And sometimes you could draft a crappy deck and end up getting 7 wins. So I think this number is okay. Now, California, who I don't think showed up today, which is weird. He normally just view bots me from the way he's gone up the list, is, what did he say? He said you have to wait 5 days building your constructed deck if you're saving up for draft. And that's true. But then on the 5th day, you catch right back up. But for 5 days, maybe doing the quest is a little bit harder than people who are just buying packs straight up. It certainly could be, CGB. And if that's the case, like, it'll be funny to see how once like the all human queues go up, how many people still just like the AI queues better because they can just get better cards. Huh? We'll have a little time before that to play or something. Yeah, you can buy packs straight up, Jody. That's fine. I mean, the thing is, you get those wild cards out of the booster packs, so it's kind of yet to be seen. Like, if the goal is to acquire the cards you want for the decks you want, it's yet to be seen which is the best way to go about it. But I just like playing drafts, and the fact that draft is almost a wash, depending on these 1 to 3 booster rewards. At 0 wins, it's almost a wash. This is all good for me. Like, I might try to rant and rave, be like, oh, it's too high, and try to get them down to 4K. Because they said they're messing with all these numbers. So if people want to scream and yell that 5K is too high and try to push Wizards down, I'm all for that. But as I said earlier, the standard constructed event queue seems like the most cancerous thing I can think of. The server should be resetting, CGB. Going down for the update. Like, I cannot imagine going into that constructed best of 1 event. It's going to be 90% red deck wins with banned cards. At least until they unban cards. And then it's going to be people like Nola Gold who spent the money to get the packs who have the full decks. Don't go into that standard queue with a half-made deck. You're going to get stomped by people who either paid the money or who are just playing, whatever deck is the best. That thing is absolutely terrifying to me, and I have no interest in playing that queue at all. I'm not really interested in phantom drafts. I like keeping the cards, especially since it goes to vault progress cracking the packs. That could be true, Roush. We're going to have to see. And once again, we said earlier, these numbers are not solid. So get on those forums. Like, once you've tested it out, wait. Hold your mouth until you've tested it out. Test it out. And then let them know on the forums. Try to be constructive. But let them know. If it's too pricey and it seems like you have to grind too much and you're not getting it, let them know. If it's too generous, shut your mouth too there, though. If it's too generous, let's not tell them. Okay? Let's keep that quiet. Let's keep that for ourselves as a community. And I guess that's all I have to say about the draft economy. I'm not going to talk about the standard constructed economy because I'm not going to be in that queue for years until they ban frickin' Ramanop Ruins and Verostodon. Man, that person has my feeling. But it's still going to be tough. Like, even if they ban those cards, it's going to be tough because that constructed standard thing is going to be pay to win. If you're coming in there with a half-built deck, you're just going to get stomped. And I don't think the reward system is good enough. You need 4 wins to get your money back. I don't think that's good enough. So I'm staying away from that constructed queue, and I hope everyone boycotts it too. I think it's a terrible way.
You have been well
a good way to
trained,
lose money
my
right
young
now.
Apprentice. They will be
When
no
draft
match
seems like
for
a good
you.
way to actually break even. Thank you for that follow. Who'd we get? Gryvix. Thank you. Ramanop Ruins makes a difference. The update should be going right now, which might mean I get more viewers because people stop playing. Anyways, that's all. I don't want to go too in-depth about this, but that's my current feelings on it. And once again, play the game, then form your opinions, and then put them on the forums so they know. All right, let's get back to the business. Here we are with main phase Clay
Sorry.
It's okay,
versus
I'm pretty dead
Chartacourse
on
Nate.
board. No, I'm not dead on board.
Yeah, you are.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, that's not on board. It was in your hand. It's literally what the definition of on board is. I want to run back with these decks. This deck is fun.
What are the thoughts on deck trackers? I know we've got one out there in the wild, and I
In the
believe we
wild.
said that's okay. It's all data that you could capture. It's not leaking anything that is unknown. So as it stands right now, we're okay with that. Any chance for a Momir basic style event variant in the future? Potentially. That is certainly one of the events that could come in. I know that there are members of the rule team who really like that as an event. It's fun. So that's definitely...
That's
a potential.
Commander style, right? Momir Basic?
If you
It's
want,
just
like,
Momir's
we
everyone's
have
commander?
all the information on.
I'm not clear on what that is.
Rewards and record requirements for the events in that state of the beta, correct? So, like, all that information is up there for people who are looking, like, what do I need to do to go infinite in draft? It's right there. So, just find your line where the amount of gems that you are winning from a draft is equal to or greater than the cost of the draft, and you're good to go.
We just did
One
that.
of the questions I saw fly by is, are there any changes to timers in this update? And there are. We are increasing the amount of time that a timeout allows. There are a couple of decks that were unplayable without that change, mostly around the new perspectives and the ability to get to the point where you can have it go off and have the time to sufficiently do this. There are some complexities around that. I've been looking at timers a lot. The thing I can say
That's good.
on the grand scale, 97% of all of our matches happen in under 20 minutes. You know, there's 3% that go beyond the 20-minute boundary, and we're looking closely at that echelon of games. Some of those games that go beyond the boundary are people who are slow playing on purpose to be jerks, and please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
The thing that we're
I
looking
did that
at for
yesterday.
the next timer update is having more of the time allowed focused around performing meaningful actions that can't be undone, and taking some of the base time out of it.
Taking the base time out of it,
You
CGB.
got in the queue and match with somebody else.
Stop matching with me.
Yeah.
I really got to go. We're going to slam through this last 12 minutes.
So timer changes are coming. Most of those will likely be in the next update.
Cool. Let's see. You want to kick off another game? We got enough time for
Sure.
probably one more. We're gonna
Are
have
we-
to.
You're gonna do Wizards again?
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
somehow
I
went
don't
on
think we
much
have enough
longer
time
than I
to
thought.
build
I guess
another
there's so
deck
much
and
to
go for it,
discuss.
so.
But we're just going to slam through the last 12
We
minutes.
had some questions about friends list and challenge matches. I know that we answered this in last
No
week's,
more pausing.
State of the beta, right? It is like we kind of. I think to use
My
the
friend can
phrase
sit
that
at the
we used
airport
in
for a
the-
while, right?
Rip the date off on that
There's
one.
things
It
to
is
do at airports.
Not coming with this update. It is something that we want, but it is a. There are more things that we need to get put into the game before that. But it is on the roadmap. It's just.
When
Don't
Nate's
expect
talking
it.
about friends list instead of Chris Clay, that's a bad sign.
And challenge matches are actually a step even beyond just getting a friends list and all that taken care of.
Yep.
So.
Ordering triggers on the stack is another one of those things that we are
Can you
well
put the
aware
link
of.
up in chat, Ace?
It's in the not too distant future. I can't say exactly when, but
It's on the roadmap.
It's on the front end of the roadmap.
Yeah.
Front
This
end
is
of
one
the
those
roadmap, but
major
not the short
parts of
list.
rules that we have not currently implemented. We know it's a missing gap, and there are cases where people are going to be losing matches because of it. Most likely in the cat token deck. Another exciting thing with the cat token decks is I know a lot of games have
you did?
run into issues when you've got a lot of the priests out.
Thank you, CGB.
And the stack gets crazy. There is still the possibility of getting to the point where there are enough triggers that the client will crash, but we've put in a lot of protections around that and changed some of the communication to reduce the problems with it.
I played against an Anointer Priest deck that had like
Yeah, I actually don't know what's
16
going on
Anointer
with
Priests out. It was rough.
the entry there. There was something in our debug client with that. I'm not quite sure how it slipped in. So I'm going to be looking at that right after the stream.
Welcome to the beta. Not even just a beta. This is an like we are literally to do this stuff. Even with the players who are playing in the stream right after this for the Dominaria Early Access event, find out who they are in the state of the
Chris
beta.
Clay is
today.
about
We'll
to
link
main
all
phase
directly,
this
so there's a
Spore
pinned
Swarm.
post about today's
Hold
early
on to your
access
hats,
that you all
boys
should
and
go
girls.
check out. It lets you know who all of the 27 streamers are.
Yo,
Go
what
and
up, Green
check them all
Orb?
out. Find any favorites. Find someone you like. We'll also be hosting through a selection of them on our channel afterwards. So go
Yeah.
find somebody.
This stack is
the
like
question on the bottom part is, that is referring to the pseudo-random protection. So you are going to get at least that. For whatever player ends up with only getting them based off of the pseudo-random, wow, you should buy a lottery ticket. We expect players to get far more out of that and then even more out of the vault.
I hate how they list that. That's stupid. It's like they're assuring you these mythics, but that's just already has to do with their algorithm. That just comes with
The
buying
other part
packs.
that I know I'm really
But they
excited
make it
about
seem like
is
it's
getting
extra.
More playtime on Dominaria itself.
Garbage. They should
I
just
was
take
really
that
curious
off.
about how the sagas were going to play out, and I forgot to add them into this deck. But I've been having more success with them than I shouldn't have done that. This is what I get for talking and playing at the same time. More success with them than I
He
thought.
attacks with the
They are a really interesting.
Lord. This is the kind of opponent Nate
There was
needs.
another quick question on, I believe, the Thallid and how it's +1/+1 works. As soon as it goes into the battlefield,
That's a good question,
that applies
CGB,
to
but
the
we're not going back. I
So
didn't
why
see
are
it.
we waiting on Dominaria drafts? Part of that is actually to ensure that the bots have the information that we need them to have to draft correctly. In the future, we're going to be pulling data
Should
from
work.
our pod drafts to basically inform the bots. Right now, we're pulling that data from MtGo. So we're giving
The
Magic
bots are
Online for
too
people-
stupid
people
to
who
sum
are not
up
inside
why
the
we're not
Magic
doing
Online.
Dominaria draft.
Basically, right now, we're waiting for some aggregate data from Magic Online to pull that data and allow the bots to do
Gross,
things
Ace.
more intelligently.
I wouldn't want to count that in real life.
All right. Time for this deck to start doing some of this stuff.
By the way, I almost beat that guy with those giant stack of Anointer Priests, but he had a cartouche of ambition to push through for Exaxes. Otherwise, I would have
Question,
approached him
do
the
you get
next
any
turn.
rewards after the 4th win of the day? And the answer at the moment is no, you do not.
No rewards after the 4th win of the day, folks.
Correct. Again, we expect people to
Did he main phase the Spore Swarm?
take the gold they have earned, go into events if they want to continue that grind.
He got the double trigger off the Academy
We'll
Dirty
see,
Mage right
is
there.
this
He
the final
popped
economy?
2 spores.
We're certainly not there yet. We've got some closed beta yet to go. We will
Don't
let
play
people
it.
play in this.
Don't
We'll
play
get
it yet,
feedback, and
Chris.
We'll see where we go from there.
Don't play it. Don't play it. I know, right? They both
So
love
with
draft.
the
They're
pointless
hardcore.
bets, there may be delays on the quick draft. That's a place where pod draft would happen first potentially.
The wipe is, I think the wipe that we've announced is when we go to open beta. Is that correct?
Correct. The next planned wipe is with open beta.
When will the update happen?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
We're taking things down to put everything on tomorrow.
Main phase clay at it again.
The update will be accessible as soon as we are back up from that at some point tomorrow. And this is a big update. Like, we've gone through all the changes, and so it's going to take a bit to put it up. But we've had some surprises in the past. Just keep an eye out. Make sure that you're following us on Twitter, especially at MTG_arena. You can also check the server status subforum for an idea of when we're down and when we're up.
So one of the questions I saw fly by is why not have more rewards past the initial wins?
Because grinders
And
can't handle it.
Part of that is a time valuation. You know, we want players to be able to get in and get their rewards out of the economy, and then sort of, if they're done for the day, they're done for the day, go on and do other things. One of the things we got out of the ICRs is if you have that trickle rate in there, you know, players will go after it, and it leads to not necessarily the most healthy play experiences, because if you're grinding a deck for long periods of time,
Mono blue Merfolk Wizards, splashy from the Neheb could be a thing.
some of it is, you know, we'll see how the events do, and do they actually provide the post, you know, core play experience that we're looking for? We think they will, but you know, that's part of this test. I am in trouble.
I mean, I have one creature that can attack, so you're not in that much trouble.
I know. Exactly, CGB. I was talking about that at the beginning of the stream.
One of the questions, can the servers handle the stress after the big update? If you see any stress on my face, it is certainly around that. We are expecting more players.
But he
than
just
we have
wants to
ever
play
seen in the game
Magic
before
anyway.
With this update. It is a very large update with systems going out that we have never tested at quite this human scale before. We've got lots of back-end testing that implies that
Oh,
we should be
arena
fine.
backend.
This is
Craigasm.
also the first time
We hear
where
about it all the
we may hit our
time.
player cap, so
This
if we
this
do
lady's
that,
got a
you
big
will see
back
a,
end.
Sorry, we're full. Retrying a little bit. We're going to be working on making that experience better with a queue in the future.
There are just some questionable cards in both these guys' decks for having as many wild cards as they had. Verdant Force is certainly questionable. Repeating Barrage, very questionable. Journey Mage, questionable. I mean, it all looks good when you got Neheb.
for the
I
person
keep
who's
saying
just
Neheb,
in,
but it's
I advise going to the
not his name.
forums and reading the state of the beta. You will get all the economy information there. At the moment, all of our servers are located in the States. Looking at
Woo!
regions is something on our radar.
NA
but
better
not
than
split up
EU.
yet. I should get reported for slow pay.
we're going to get to
Most
see the
okay,
cards
like 5 minutes
milliseconds
when I make
before
it.
Europeans,
If I haven't beaten
thus
you already.
giving us better time and making our strategies better.
This back.
It doesn't matter where the servers are located for this kind of game. It's not a first-person shooter.
Yeah, state of the beta as a chat command would have been a good idea.
Wonder if we have any of our. We're going to be on this channel for a bunch today. As
I
well as
kinda
on
disagree
a whole
with you,
bunch of other
CGB.
channels. You guys should go make sure that you're familiar with those streamers who are streaming in the early access event afterwards.
I think there should be infinite, common-only ICRs.
Sure, we'll do some blocking.
I want to see something when I win the game.
Yeah, so one of the questions is around cards that you're going to be seeing across sets, so like Legion, Conquistadors, and the like, especially when they've got the same art. That's definitely something we're talking about. I don't have an answer for you at the moment, but it's something that we're discussing.
Ugh. Man,
In terms of payment options, I don't have the exact in front of me. My memory is Visa and MasterCard to start, with additional ones coming online
No PayPal?
as we go out.
How am I supposed to use the bits I get to buy packs? Come on, man. We need that
What are the
PayPal.
Which packs you get from your rewards? Like which set?
Chris Clay missed lethal there.
Wait,
I'm
what
sure he
was the
did.
So when you win packs as a reward, is it the most recent
It's the most recent set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, now you've got me questioning it. I know the weekly
Right,
wins
Nola?
have gone to Dominaria. I know that for Dominaria draft, it's Dominaria. And now I'm questioning whether it's Kit Hour for that draft.
Once again, I think it'd be sweet to be able to trade in packs you didn't
So the
want
question was,
to enter
are
an
the-
event to get packs you do want.
Again, on the pseudo-random for the card bundles, those are part of the pseudo-random system. We know from that system you will get at least that many. We expect you to get more than that.
Yeah, I know I could play the Gizu Lava Runner. I'm well aware. I am under the same thing where I am paying attention to what's going on and also getting ready for the fact that we literally want to stop streaming just before 1 o'clock because you guys should not be paying attention to us. You should be paying attention to the 27 streamers we have participating in our early access event. We're going to be giving them access to exactly what we've been playing on right now. You can find the full list in the state of the beta on the forums, forums.mtgarena.com. It's on the general discussions tab. It should be pinned by now. Go watch them. They are way more entertaining than we are. And
We
we're
got
gonna
a
set 'em
chosen
loose,
one in
let
chat
them
right
build whatever
now,
decks they
Nola.
want to with all the Dominaria cards, have fun for a couple of hours, and then you guys will get to watch Quick Draft in action because the second half of this, the second 2 hours of our early access event, we're going to open up the Quick Draft queue and let people go to town, build their decks, and battle. You may find, as you're watching them, they may get matched up against somebody with a mythic orange name. We've got some Wizards employees in the building who are also contributing, having some fun. I'm going to actually go sit down in a room right now and go do my best to hang out with people as well. But
Yeah, and just one of the questions I saw fly by was, do you expect people to keep playing if they're only going to earn rewards for that first hour and a half of gameplay through the sort of heartbeat of the economy?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the answer so far has been yes. We've seen a lot of people play a whole lot of Magic.
I'll
without
probably
those
play a
additional
bit
rewards.
less
But
with no
again,
rewards.
You can get additional rewards. What we expect you to do
bit
past
less.
that point is, you've got gold from the first. You enter into events, and you can gain further rewards down that path. Again, we'll see how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming normally gets me to play about as much, but I probably will not play as much off stream.
Continue to
You have been
adjust.
well trained, my young
They're going to be
apprentice.
the place where we
They
do
will
the
be
most
no
playing
match
and
for
the most
you.
changing.
Thanks for
When
that
we see
follow,
those three,
Hammerland.
card Dominaria boosters,
Appreciate
that
it.
is random. Some of the events do have random payouts on them. Others,
I don't like the random
Quick
payouts.
Constructed are more structured. Again, this is just part of the variance. We're trying out a bunch of
Hello,
different event
Hammerland.
types. We're going to see how players respond to them, which ones are successful, which ones aren't, and then we're going to keep iterating on them.
They're iterating,
all right,
folks.
we have exactly
This
2
is not
minutes and
final.
10 seconds before I am giving us the boot. So, again, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I hope you learned a whole bunch about what we've got coming in this update. The update is taking place tomorrow, but prior to that
That's
update,
today.
we have
That's
let
right
people
now.
into kind of
Right
the
now.
back end side of things. We've got 27 streamers who are going to be participating in our Dominaria early access event. You can find a full roster of streamers in today's, in the
That is not happening anymore. That is
pinned
done.
post about it in our forums.
You have
at
been well trained,
forums.mtgarena.com.
my young apprentice.
Yo, got that
Early
follow
access
train.
And go take a look. Find somebody. Go hang out with them. It's going to last
99
starting
lives.
in 1
Appreciate
minute
it.
and 30 seconds. For the next 4 hours, they're going to be playing Constructed with Dominaria. They're going to be quick drafting for the second half of that. It should be a lot of fun. We've invited a whole bunch of people in. And really hoping that you guys go out, check out people.
I
you
do like the
haven't
visual
watched before.
updates. I think it's
give
too early to
people
say
a
what
try.
the
We're trying to build our
economy
streaming
changes are.
community, trying to build our community of streamers, and part of that is going out and supporting people
No.
who are making cool content for us. So go have fun, enjoy the show, make a new favorite, and for all you guys participating,
Make a
in the
new
event,
favorite.
Why are you here?
I
You
love
have your
that
own
line.
Stream to get ready for. Go out and do it.
Make a new
have fun. I've had a
favorite.
good time. Have you had a good time?
I've had a good time. Lots of really good questions. Some that we can't necessarily answer right now.
Yep.
but,
Yes,
we'll
Twisted
be
Chaos.
able to down the line.
Yep. Keep an eye on those forums for all the conversations we're going to have moving forward. Make sure you're following us on social media as well.
I'm
at
sure those
MtG
forums are
_
lit
arena for
right
Twitter,
now.
And you can find us on Facebook.com/Magic the Gathering Arena. We'll be posting a lot of stuff there. We have 30 seconds to go, so I'm going to stop talking now so I can literally pack my computer up and run.
And I will see you all on the forums and next Monday on Reddit for an AMA.
AMA next
There
Monday.
you go. Cool. Thanks a bunch, guys. Check out the information online. Thanks for stopping by, and go watch a streamer play our sweet game.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
All right, guys, that is it for the